Hello friends and welcome back for another episode of Indie Impressions. My name is Nick and today we're going to be exploring a third-person atmospheric platformer called Conch by developer SCH Monk or Schmunk. I'm not sure which way the developer prefers his or her name said, but what we're going to be doing today is a little bit of exploration as well as some infection. I say that because our character is actually a cancerous cell and we must be infecting the cells of our host, and it's definitely an interesting framework and not one that I've necessarily seen done a whole lot, and you know, it's real hard to root for the cancer cell in this case, so we're kind of going to be rooting against our own character in this particular situation. That being said though, looking around, this is a very pretty game, I have to say. There's not a whole lot to see right at the beginning, but you'll see off in the distance what looks to be like synapses or something. We're going to be heading in that direction, and I get at first a feeling of like maybe this could be a massive desert, like something of Journey. And in fact, the character sort of evokes that a little bit as well. It's rather mysterious, and the tempo is rather quiet and slow at the beginning. So we're going to wander around, see what we can find, and maybe we could be successful and win this game, but I'm not sure if in the scheme of things we actually want that. So we will approach each one of these little nodes here, and it says we can interrogier mit e. I'm actually not sure. I speak a little bit of German, but I'm not familiar with all of the words. Interact, I am assuming that probably means. So we're going to interact with it. And we have this cell that seems to spawn and will now chase us around. And this is the host's white blood cells that are now coming in to act on the host's behalf and try and keep us down if possible. And of course there is that very loud, you know, burst of like almost like an X-Files theme that happens each time this we activate one of these cells. Rather, the one thing that I might say is a little bit of a criticism in my perspective is that is a little jarring, because it feels like we're going for a very quiet, cerebral, atmospheric moment, and then all of a sudden we keep getting hit with this really loud blast of music, which kind of breaks the immersion a little bit. And I would probably go for something a little bit more insidious and quiet that would sneak up on you over time, because that is kind of like how the whole cancer idea works, right? You would start little and work your way up to being a big problem. And then, of course, we've got these just random structures here. I'm guessing this is... well, it's a question mark, but I'm not really sure why it's here. I guess it's just some sort of anomalous material that the host seems to have in whatever part of the body this is. I mean, I'm looking up and I'm seeing what looks to be like the surface of a brain, so I'm going to assume that we're probably inside of somebody's head right now, which is certainly rather creepy and kind of awful for a premise. I mean, awful in terms of, like, just feels bad. But, you know, artistically, there's nothing wrong with it, I suppose. So we got 4 of 11 so far. And we can see off in the distance each time I activate one of these, there seems to be another one a little bit further, and it seems like things are spaced just far enough apart that we can get a glimpse of each next one as we go. Now, of course, there are some issues with this game that I've noticed. I played about 5 minutes of this before I started just to get a feel for it. I really like the colors. I really like a lot of things about it, but the game has sort of an inherent floatiness to how the character controls, and you can tell probably as you see me running that I seem to be floating just slightly up off of the ground a little bit. And, you know, you don't ever really feel like you're particularly attached to the ground. And gravity becomes a bit of a factor because you can see there all of that stuff we're going to be walking around within. And we actually can die if we fall too far, which is kind of a problem because the way that the game handles death, unfortunately, is that it kind of just like respawns you in the air near where you fell. So you end up just falling over and over again until you can try to move your character over to a place where you won't fall anymore. It sounds weird, but, you know, we'll probably experience it at some point. So the reason that the controls and being a little bit floaty can be an issue, as you can see, I'm just sort of inertia just pushed me down that hill, is because we don't want that to happen. I don't want to break the game by just falling and falling again. But there is a pi symbol here for some reason, and that's neat. I really like the shadows. I really like the colors. This is, like, really pretty to look at to me. I really enjoy just being in a space like this, of course, and I kind of wish the character had like some flat shading on it so you could actually see when you walk through these shadows more, because right now like there's a little bit of an outline, like a silhouette of light, but for the most part it looks like the shadows are just kind of gone. Like, can I see if I walk through them with the eyes facing? Does that... yeah, it's really just the edges around the character that dissipate when you walk through shadows. So up there are the rest of the nodes that I believe will be infecting, and I just want to kind of get the lay of the lands before we head up in that direction. Looks like a lot of crisscrossing networks of things, and, well, It would be a real big problem for us for the most part, except for the nodes that we've already activated mostly don't come chasing after us. And that's, well, it's good for me as the player. It's kind of bad for the host that we're infecting, because really there's not a whole lot of encumbrance or issues that I have to deal with. No real serious obstacles. It seems like each node has one thing that chases you, and then it kind of gets stuck on the geometry somewhere, and then that's kind of the end of that. So what I would have expected in a situation like this is perhaps the immune system of the host starts to rally and maybe gets together like a big network of white blood cells to come after me. Oh, see, this is already going to be a problem. That might kill me. Yeah. Du bist gestorben. Yeah, gestorben, I guess, is another word for dead. I thought it was getoten, but, you know, I guess both. I don't have a particularly great German vocabulary. I've already proved that to you when we started up. So we're just going to head around, look around, see what we can find. I'm pretty sure there's going to be some more nodes around, and I've got to be very careful as I run on these. We managed to recover rather nicely from that last little issue. Oh my god, I can't walk today. I'm just so bad. We've got 7 of 11 nodes. Thankfully, the game restored us to a position on a platform, but each other time, other than the times that I've showed you on... Oh my god, he keeps flipping around in the wrong direction. Generally, I find myself that I just keep falling off of things. And it sucks because I really like this, the way this network of platforms works. It's just too bad that it's like really hard to control and stay up on them. Also, you can hear that theme music. It's like stereo positionally located around my head, which could be useful if I was getting tracked by one of these things, but they just don't really follow you very far proximity-wise. It's also too bad that, like, as you infect more and more of these nodes, that the visuals of the area don't change somewhat. I kind of would have expected, looking up at the skybox, I guess we'll call it, that maybe things would start to look a little bit more gross or corrupted, or, you know, just something different. But as it stands, it looks like really the only noticeable change is just that you get chased for a moment around each node, and that's about it. So in a position like this, you feel like, oh god, oh, the inertia, man, come on, that's not fair. I didn't try to fall off of there. I was going to say that I would really have hoped that maybe we could make a little bit of progress and not keep falling. Now we're going to be in a situation where I think we're just going to maybe fall over and over again. Is it starting me in any more meaningful a place each time? I'm trying to figure out as I fall if I can, like, swoop my character over onto a platform. It looks like maybe I can if I get really lucky. But I don't get enough time with perspective to realign things. It's really unfortunate that this is... Oh god, I fell like 1 inch and it still killed me. So I guess I just have crazy inertia now from falling from so high. Things are looking really good in terms of the framework of this game. I really like the thrust of it. I like the direction that it takes. But, like, this bug is really bad and will actually stop a lot of people probably from playing. So the combination of the iffy controls plus the falling part are, like, kind of insurmountable, unfortunately. You could just not fall, I guess, is one argument, but that's trickier than it probably looks. And I'm not saying that, like, I'm trying to, like, say that I'm generally really good at games or anything. Just in this particular instance, the character's kind of floaty, as I said. I'm going to cut the feed, and we'll come back, and we'll try another time, just because I don't really want to stop here, as I think there might be more to see afterward. And sorry for the flashing screen. We'll be right back. Alright, I figured out something like a trick, I suppose. You might be able to spam spacebar to cause your character to, like, checkpoint somewhere. And for whatever reason, as I was falling over and over again, I seem to have been able to get closer to the ground. So over the course of time, although things didn't start out particularly obviously, it just ended up that, like, I was getting closer to the ground. So I figured I need to capitalize on that and it'll work out. It seemed to have worked out, so that's good. Also, I'm probably not doing myself any favors by running constantly, because that is probably contributing to the slidiness of this character. But when you walk, you know, you walk kind of slowly, unfortunately. But I guess that might be what I need to do, unless I'm facing a stretch of straight ground. Now, where is... Okay, the next node is going to be over here. I'm going to really try not to fall off anymore, because I really don't want to do any more of that. If we do fall off, though, that might be the end of us for now. Granted, though, even though there were some frustrating elements, I think this is a pretty cool game and a pretty cool idea. This area right here is pretty wild looking, and I kind of want to walk on it, but I'm very certain that I'm going to fall, so I'm going to avoid that. I feel like I've seen structures like this before in some game. I'm thinking maybe, like, Anarchy Online or something. I'm pretty sure there was like a network neural area that had some connections that were very cryptic and surreal looking like this. Also, Shadow Man, I think, had some minor moments that were a little bit like this too. Not nearly this severe, though. And I really like the squiggly nature of like the way that all the platforms look, and then also the shadows that are being cast from the platforms over each other and on the ground at the base of it too. All looks really cool. So let's figure out the next node is right there. So we're going to activate this one. Then we're going to head over here. So we got 9 out of 11. We need just a couple more. There may even be more nodes than there are. Oh god, don't kill me please, bro. Come on. I'm going a little faster than I probably should. We'll activate that, and then we'll head over in that direction. There's 2 now. Well, maybe we're actually going to get to the game properly. And maybe the game is more balanced than I was even giving it credit for. Because now, if I'm... Oh, God. If I'm being chased, I actually need to run. Oh, it actually started me on a safe platform. That's great news. But I actually need to run, which... Oh, yeah, there's way more than I actually need to activate. Okay, fair enough. So I need to run, and also these things are chasing after me, which is going to make me fall more often and kill me anyway. I wish it was that easy to kill Cancer for real, just like have it fall off a cliff and POW block itself to death. Oh well. Alright, so we're going to try and fall on this one below us here, because I'm pretty sure this is going to be an easy way to get to the next node. And run up that, and then make a left. And thank goodness it actually connects, so I think we're good to go now. There's so many nodes over here, my goodness. Oh, 11 out of 11. The music's actually doubling now. Did I break it? What's going on? It wants more? 12 out of 11. Why is it still going? I actually have no idea what's going on here. I saw some pictures at the website that I downloaded it, and it looked like there were some other colors and other places to be, so I was really hoping maybe we could see some of that stuff. But if getting more than the required amount doesn't take me anywhere else, well, I'm starting to think then the only other option is I have to get all of them. And if I have to get all of them, well, that might take quite a while, because there seems to be a lot around. 14 out of 11. There's another one over there. You know, I'm tempted to want to go for more, but at the same time, I guess I should probably wrap things up at this point. Again, also to keep things fresh in case you happen to want to go grab this yourself and try it out, which I do recommend. Despite the frustrations, I still think really, really pretty and worth exploring the space. I just wish there was even more ambience and more atmosphere, because it really started out in such a good direction. But just getting slammed with that music over and over again, it's like it just kind of takes you out a little bit. The background music, when that is not happening, is really lovely and really does set the tone well. So it just seems, you know, like a shame to have that overcast by something a little bit more abrasive. Oh no, I was right there. Dubiscus Dorban. Where am I? Oh god. I don't even get a chance to figure out where I am. It should totally put some kind of little shield around you for a second when you respawn, just to get a moment to look. And probably this is the type of thing where, like, having 6 lives or 10 lives or something like that would mean, you know, a permanent reset would probably be reasonable to ask of the player in this case. You don't want to give them a million opportunities to succeed. Kind of want the odds to be stacked against you a little bit. Otherwise, the risk-reward is not quite right, balance-wise. Anyway, yeah, there's still one there, and probably many, many more around. I don't know. See if you can figure out what's up with this game yourself. I'm kind of curious. If you want to let me know in the comments, see if you have any success. Oh, well, that sucks. Can't really help when that happens, can we? So that's going to do it for another day, guys. That's Conch, C-A-N-C again. If you want to play it, links in the description, as well as my other information. It's being kind again and setting me back on platforms. I really appreciate that very much. So yeah, go try it. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, because that helps me out a lot. Check me out on my other various forums and venues like Twitter and Facebook and Twitch.tv if you'd like. I do appreciate it. And of course, go check out some of the other videos in the Indie Impressions series. Over 750 of them now, all sorted and aggregated over on indie-impressions.com. Links for that are also in the description. And I will see you back for another one tomorrow. So hopefully you'll be back as well. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a fantastic night. Talk to you later, everybody.